Good evening. I'm Jessica Pokrandt, talking to political reporter Matt DeFour about the presidential election. Now, Matt has been with the Wisconsin State Journal for 10 years, covering education and the government. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so the big news this past week, was Green Party candidate Jill Stein's recount campaign. Now, were you surprised that it was Stein to ask for the recount and not Hillary Clinton?
I think so, although when you look at it, the Clinton campaign, doesn't want to, it would seem, would not want to inject itself back in election after losing in so many states. There were a lot of academics, though, people from the University of Michigan, other colleges, giving reasons to the Clinton campaign for why they should do a recount. And Jill Stein, she took up that mantle. There's obviously a lot of potential reasons why she might do it. For example, by raising more than $7 million, she raised more than twice as much as she spent in the entire election. So she gets all those donor emails, all those donor contacts. So it's it seems like it's a win for her in that sense, even though she can't possibly win the election.
So how do you think Jill Stein raised that much money so quickly when she couldn't for her presidential campaign?
She's tapping into a lot of frustration that's out there. I think a lot of Democrats see that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, and they want some kind of justice here. They want to make sure that the votes were counted accurately in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan. It's so close too that they think if there's a recount, they'll find some kind of missing bag of ballots somewhere and turn the election around. Who knows?
So Stein has filed a challenge to the Wisconsin results. What does that mean? How do they go about recounting the votes?
Well, they're going to be, there's a couple different methods, but more than 60% of the votes are going to be counted by hand all around the state. They'll be spending the next 12 days, going as quickly as they can, counting each vote, and basically retallying them just to make sure that they did it right the first time. State election officials are saying that they don't expect there's going to be much of a difference between the original vote and the final vote. But the campaigns will have an opportunity to challenge ballots that maybe have irregularities or something that wasn't caught the first time.
So how is the situation in Wisconsin similar or different from in Michigan or Pennsylvania?
Well, Wisconsin was the first, I think, just in terms of when the deadlines happened. I mean, Michigan's votes weren't even, they didn't have the total votes until just this past week. And so that she just filed, I think, today in Michigan, Jill Stein did. Wisconsin's deadline was last Friday by when she had to send notification in. The costs are going to be different, but Pennsylvania, one of the biggest differences is that she actually missed the deadline, so she's got to file a lawsuit in order to even have a recount. All these are signs, though, that it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to successfully overturn the results of the election.
So how likely is it that the recount could alter the outcome of the election?
It's not impossible, but it's very unlikely. There's talk about could these machines have been hacked somehow. The machines aren't even they aren't connected to the internet, so it seems like people have this notion about how the voting process works that just doesn't jibe with the reality. So,
what would it take to alter the results?
Well, in Wisconsin, there was a 22,000 vote margin for Donald Trump. I think it was around 10,000 in Michigan, but it was about 60 or 70,000 in Pennsylvania. Those kinds of margins are just very difficult to overturn in a recount.
Well, thank you, Matt. Matt DeFour is a political reporter for the Wisconsin State Journal. I'm Jessica Pokrandt. Now, back to the studio.